Welcome into what I like to call Unity Health Radio. My name is Weza Matomane. You can call me Weza that guy. Now, at the Unity Health product launch of 2021, we did promise that we're going to have a podcast series addressing some of the questions that you asked during that launch. And we've got a couple of our experts that answer these questions one at a time. Now, joining me on the line is the executive under Health and Life at Constantia Insurance. And she's also, of course, the avid supporter of now champions Liverpool. Last time I had a chat with her, they were not champions though. This was about 12 BC, 12 months before Corona. And so much has changed since then. Toska Podcast, how are you doing?
Well, thank you. How things have changed, hey, Rita?
They definitely have. Tosca, we received a couple of questions from our recent product launch, and these ones relate mainly to performance. The question reads, the underwriter of your product, Constantia Insurance, and its holding company, Conduit, has seen material financial challenges and operating losses over the past few years. Combined ratio also seems consistently high. Any comment on that, Tosca?
Yes, that's true. Looking at 2019 and 2020, we have seen some good underwriting results that have been offset by specifically 8 motor books in our property and casualty business unit. I must admit that the motor segment performed far below expectations. And it did affect our financial performance. As a business, we have taken, at the time, actually drastic remedial action, and we see that trend has certainly, it's reversing at the moment. I think important to note is that we've had a recent change in leadership with Peter Todd, our new CEO, and there's been a very strong focus. And we've seen the trend being reversed. We've seen things changing. The remedial action did work, but also since Peter started, he hasn't left any stone unturned. And drastic interventions have actually been introduced already. So we are confident. We have a new focus. We're looking at co-creating with our partners, a partner like Unity Health. And in fact, I'm more confident than ever of where, and looking pretty forward to where we're going to end up.
So the future looks pretty positive.
Indeed it does. Thank you. Yes.
Well, that's pretty good to hear. The other question reads, what comfort can you give policyholders and brokers that the insurer can actually pay out claims in the future?
Yes, I do think it's a valid concern. And you know, it's better that these questions are asked and the facts are put on the table as opposed to all the speculation. I can say that we have a shareholder, Conduit, and Conduit has been a really strong supporter of Constantia in over our last 2 financial periods. They have assisted, but also by the same token, the remedial action that I've mentioned we have introduced has certainly or has already reversed the trend that we're seeing. I can say that we are currently looking at, there are 2 transactions, and Conduit, our shareholders, currently busy with a transaction that will really provide sufficient capital injection for us for future growth. So we are really confident. There are a number of hoops to jump through in terms of these transactions. So I certainly do not want to preempt as if it has already happened. But I can certainly say that the one being pretty imminent, that there will be an injection of capital growth as a result of that transaction. So to answer the question, yes, pretty confident about the payment of claims into the future.
Well, thank you so much, Toska. We really appreciate your time. And also thank you for those answers. I think they will definitely be quite beneficial. And for you listening, remember that you can still listen to other podcast links as well. We've got Vernon, Conita, Michael, as well as Arnold. And you can get to hear what their answers were to some of the questions that came through as well. Stay healthy.